And hopefully that's exactly what you did. Now the thing is what's important is you have to realise that these things take time. It's not just going to come to you, boom, like that. But what I want to share with you today is what I said I'd share with you, and that is what was my focus that I was thinking of. And there's a few things when it comes to my business, it's slightly different. When it comes to just an everyday sort of occurrence, that was really interesting because I always remember it's back in the old hometown where I lived in Thailand, and I remember it because my family came. It was an amazing occasion, and we ended up in my favourite place, which is called Vanilla Sky. And if you've seen any of my pictures or any of me, normally I'm sitting there with a nice G&T, or that's a gin and tonic, pair of shorts and a beautiful sunshine, lovely background if you can imagine it. And you're up quite high, and what you can see is right out for miles to all the ocean. You see the sunset coming in. It's absolutely phenomenal, and the best part about that for me is it just makes me smile every time I do it. And plus, when I envisage my family there as well, like my niece and my nephew and my brother, my mum, my auntie, my uncle, all those people have been to see me, and I realise how important that is because you forget when you change and you've come back to another situation, a different place, and you've gone through the anxiety, the depression, feeling like there is no cure for this depression. Like people keep saying to me there is, but I only think it can be arrested, as I said before. And making you feel weak and dizzy. I've had all of those things, as you may have read about. And it's quite amazing when you think about where you are right now and where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And the way to get there is like what I said, is like bottle that feeling. That feeling just makes me feel alive, makes me feel fantastic because it's something so special. If I close my eyes, I can see it. I can actually smell the ocean. I can smell the air. I can feel the heat of the sun kicking my face, I've got a spot here, man. Look at that spot there. I know a spot up here. I'm not vain, don't get me wrong, but I can't think the last time I had a spot. Mediterranean heat, trust me, is really good for your face. People say it's not. It isn't if you bask in it. If you sit there and go like that and you become like a black person, like with that bronzer and they put the oil on and that sort of thing. No, that's definitely not me. However, if you get a nice tan, everyone likes a nice tan, right? But, I don't get any spots, but look, I've got that one there and I've got another one there. Christ, never saw that before on camera. There you go. What was I saying? Yeah, go back to my story about, that's what you got to do. When you've got your eyes closed, I've got a really bad problem with my shoulder. When you get your eyes closed, you've got to think about what those smells are like, what that air, what can you hear, what can you smell, what can you feel. Those things are so important because what that's going to do is that's going to give you that buzz, that's going to give you that feeling, that's going to give you that sensationalism of how great you feel. And that's what you need to bottle, and that's what you need to put into your mind whenever you feel down. Always go back to that place. Just take yourself away for 5 minutes, close your eyes and put yourself in that place. Get that feeling back. Get that fantastic feeling, that sensation. I'm going to stand up because the sun's just banging a little bit. Get that sensation, get that feeling. Because once you get that feeling, that's going to put you right in a great place, set you apart. Oh look, the mad ones are coming. The mad dogs are on their way, sorry. Set you apart from all the other things that are happening in your life. I call it quiet time, but this is a little bit different to quiet time because what you're actually doing is you're just putting yourself in a place. I don't call it meditation because there's lots of forms of meditation and I'm not qualified to talk about it. What I call it is putting yourself into this mental state of where you can just feel the energy pulsing through your body. So when you open your eyes, you just know, oh, how fantastic was that. I mean, even talking about it to you now, I can feel the glow in my face just because I loved it. I love it so much. And it's what, you know, it's just a place where it's just got so many memories for me and so much happy feeling. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to talk to you about today is I call them emotional triggers. Now, in copywriting, there is emotional triggers. They're called triggers for a reason because they deal with emotions, right? But that's a totally different entity completely. And if there is anyone that wants to know about stuff like that, you can always send me a message, no problem, and we can have a conversation. But just moving on very quickly. When we're talking about triggers, I'm talking about things that really get you emotionally charged. So, I don't know, let's say you've got a trigger and it's that you're looking for recognition. Someone's not giving you a pat on the back. Someone has, for years, has sort of ignored you and said that, you know, you're not worthy. It could be a husband, could be a wife. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it's really important for you to understand that. And that trigger gets you really emotional. It can either get you very angry or it can just get you very upset. And if it gets you very upset, then you know that that's one of your triggers. It might be that someone says something to you and it feels personal. But it's not personal, but you've taken it personal. And then again, that is our friend, our chimp that sits on our shoulder, or in my case, my grizzly that sits on mine. Because if you're going to be a bear, right? Yeah, if you're going to be a bear, anyway, that's a bit early in the morning, right? But if you are going to be a bear, be a grizzly, as I've always said. But if that's going to happen to you in your life, you're going to start to see it. And you're not going to see it once, you're going to see it twice, 3 times, 4 times. And that's the reason as well why we have diaries, because the reason I want you to put it on a diary, so that you understand what's going on in your life. And when this trigger comes up, you just write it down. Okay, so that upset me. Why did that make me sad? Why did that make me angry? What made me feel the way I felt at that particular time and that particular moment? Why was it that? So I come back to you there. See, dropping my state there like that. Again, those sort of things that I just do there, it's just what I call pattern interrupters. It just breaks your state. And that's what you've got to realise, is that a lot of things that happen are happening to you emotionally because you're allowing them to happen emotionally. So let's start recognising those triggers. And as soon as you start recognising them triggers, you're going to find yourself starting to get better really fast, because you can recognise the triggers and then you can work with them. You can work with yourself. You can understand what makes that happen to you. I used to have this thing where, for some unknown reason, I hate goodbyes. I don't know what it is. I always put it down to the fact that I lost my father. And what happened is I didn't get a chance to say goodbye because, well, it's not a long story, and maybe I'll tell you at another time. But that's my reason. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Yeah, I don't think I can cover it right now. But yeah, so that was the reason. And that's one of my triggers. So I know that, and that's why I have problems with saying goodbye to anyone. So apart from you. Anyway, I'm going to leave me on that one because that's a great smiley one to leave on. And have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.